Hey everyone, welcome back to I'll Do Yahweh. I'm Lauren.
Yes, and I'm Tavon. See, we got a little janky microphone set up here.
Yeah.
We're outside. It's raining, but whatever. We're gonna get through this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so today we're gonna talk about Squid Games. We did our podcast on Squid Games like from a Christian perspective.
Mhm.
And so we're gonna give you like I guess like three extra on this video.
Mhm.
And the first one is what?
Wealth and loneliness. I think this is what your point that you brought up. And,
Oh, so I should talk about it.
well, yeah, no, go ahead, because I'll piggyback off you.
Okay, so I said for the ending part, wealth and loneliness. Basically, what was the guy's name again? Was it like Guy?
Are you talking about the main character?
No, the rich guy,
Oh, the old guy.
the old guy.
I don't know. Just call him old guy.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not Korean, so it's just not gonna really it's not gonna work.
Old
By
Korean dude.
If you haven't seen the movie, by the way, please do not
Show.
TV show. It's the same thing that happened in the podcast. If you haven't seen a TV show on Netflix, I don't know what rock you under, but just wait, go watch it first, and then come back to this video.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. I know people probably are like, oh, it's Korean. I don't want to read
Read subtitles.
or actually it's dubbed though.
Yeah, it's dubbed. Dubbed with the subtitles, so there's no excuse.
Yeah, so just go watch it. It's good, okay? I mean, we all still pretty much are quarantined, so do something for yourself and just relax and just watch a movie or show, a TV show. Okay, just watch the TV show.
Put a counter up here.
TV show.
Movie. But yeah, so the old Korean dude, that's his name. We're gonna call him for this thing. Old Korean dude. Basically near the end, yeah, y'all can hear all this rain, but basically near the end, the main character finds out, that he's alive. Right? Are you going with that point?
Well, the main character he finds out that he's alive, and that he was the one who started all the games. So my point is the whole thing with the wealth part, the wealth and the loneliness. The man was lonely, and he made that clear at the end. He said that he was very, very lonely. He was pretty much bored with all his riches, and he didn't like. I know. I wish we had those problems. Okay,
Ooh, so bored.
so bored. I need to do something with myself. No, but it's just like basically he had all this money. He had friends, but I think he felt lonely even in his friend circle. And I know that a lot of us can kind of feel that way too when you're in your friend circle and you still kind of feel lonely. So I kind of feel like he was a little bit depressed. And so because he was a little bit depressed, he kind of went into starting this games and brought his lonely rich friends into it, to watch it.
Yeah.
But basically, we didn't even put any verses down for this.
Yeah.
But basically, I think that he also had an issue with not believing in good in the world. Like, and the Lord tells us to go out there and to help people. And I feel like he wasn't helping people. He didn't believe that anybody would help this man at the end of the show.
Yeah.
And so there was like a bet between him and the main character, and he was like, oh yeah, nobody's gonna help him out on the street. There was a homeless guy on the street, and it was like, oh, maybe somebody would help him. It was a cold day, and it's like maybe somebody would help him. No, I don't believe anybody's gonna help him, type stuff. So the thought, I think he needed to really reevaluate his life, and actually, if he was more helpful with his money, he might not have been lonely, and he might have been happier. Because it's like if he was a Christian, I feel like this whole thing was like pretty much godless. But if he was a Christian, he would have been able to, go back and say, okay, what can I do for other people? How can I help other people? Instead of torturing people just for pure sport.
Yeah, because you have to be some type of twisted fellow to basically put on a game where you pit people against each other. And like we talked about in the podcast, that is up right now, so go ahead and check that out. That God, it feels like God isn't there because it's like there's no way to win. You
Right.
know, it's like only one can win. I mean, essentially, and you're just fighting to the death. You're doing these games. You're betraying people. You're betraying your friends and family. This married couple was in there. They were pitted against each other, and only the husband made it out. So we can only imagine that maybe they actually played the game against each other to actually win, or the wife sacrificed herself to go ahead and go back to Timmy or whoever, because they probably have family back home. But that type of thing is like, it's like lawlessness, it's greed, deceit, murder, lust, everything is in there. Like that movie, gosh, I said movie. That show has a lot of different things in there, that 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 like, when there are no morals, when they strip you of all like a sense of humanity, and it's like it's a free for all, and nobody's going to hold you accountable. It's like, yeah, go for it. If you want to kill somebody, go ahead and kill someone. And it's like people just are loose and wild.
Right. Next point was the love of money. And so basically, like, as the Bible says, the love of money is the root of all evil. But everybody in this show really loved money because they were like so focused on it. I don't think anybody was really focused on much of anything else. I mean, they said that they wanted to help. They wanted to like live better. I think a lot of people wanted to live more lavish lives, and they wanted to be out of debt and whatnot. But their focus was in the wrong place. It was always on money the entire time. I need this money to do this. I need this money to do that. And I think a lot of times, as Christians, we can even be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I have a verse. I found a verse. I'll read it real quick. Actually, I'm gonna piggyback. So yeah, like it was a period of time, like even like last year, probably early this year, my mind was on getting to the money. I mean, everybody could probably agree. Like, you're a husband, you got 2 kids, you got a wife. I mean, yeah, you need to provide, but the whole drive will cause you to just go do any and everything, do jobs that you aren't supposed to do, miss time with your friends and family. But when you do it God's way, it's kind of like God will sit there and provide for you if you're faithful. And and God is sitting there. And it's like you talk about on the podcast. If you can't handle the small things that you have, like, okay, the small check that you're getting, the $500. What are you gonna do with this $500? You can't even sit there and tithe and have faith and say, Lord, I'm giving this to you because I know you will, take care of me. Then God can't give you 5,000 because you can't do what you're supposed to do with 500. And of course, if he gives you $1 million or whatever, and you just waste that, your family gets evicted out the house, you can't manage your funds properly, like, the greater the money, the greater the stakes. But this verse is Mark chapter 8 verse 36, and it's, what good is it for someone to gain the whole world yet forfeit their soul?
Yeah.
The first time I heard that Bible verse was in a Toby Mac song. Yeah, but so I thought about that because it's just like, the reason why they're in this place is because they all have gambling problems, or they couldn't pay their debts. Some, we don't know, but a lot of them, could have been gambling money, could have had big medical bills. Some of them could have been there because they're trying to take care of their family. Like, mom is sick, they need money or whatever. We don't know, but in the show, you see this big old piggy bank. Every time somebody dies, more money drops in, and it glows in the dark and night. So imagine you're sitting there sleeping, looking at this, like, wow, I could get this money.
Right.
It's just a temptation, and you'll do whatever you can to get that money. And I mean, forfeit your soul. I mean, it's like, I don't care about nobody else. I don't care. And then, of course, it's like, in that type of game setting, it's like, it is kind of like there's no honor, because at the end of the day, it's like, I'm trying to get back to my family. So, if that means I gotta stab you in the back to get back to my family, it is what it is. So, I can't be mad at you for trying to kill me and vice versa. So there's really no honor system in there, but it's kind of like you just forfeit all that. And you had and just like Lauren said in the podcast, you could be, everybody voted to basically, end the game. So they went back to their normal lives for a couple of days, and they were free to do what they want to do. But they got back in that situation, they couldn't, I guess, figure out how to get out. So they all opted back into the game.
Right.
So, the love of money, man, makes you do crazy things.
Yeah, and it's just where is your focus? If your focus is like on the Lord, and asking, if the whole thing could have ended so differently. Like, it would have been so much better if I mean, the show is entertaining. I mean, it was giant entertaining. I mean, I don't know how it can get any better than that.
Yeah, season 2.
But yeah, but like in terms of a real world situation, it would be so much better for somebody to sit there and say, you know, I need to go get right with the Lord.
Yeah.
And really try to ask God to help me in a situation, because then God will send someone to help you. He's done it in the past. He's done it in the Bible many times. So you know that. If you know that, then you know that you can call on him and ask him for help.
Yeah.
The last point that we have on here, because the other ones are on the podcast.
Yeah, I think we did, 7 or 5?
I think we did like 5 or 4. So, I don't know.
Yeah, so check that out. Longer discussions, more Bible verses, but you know, this is a little, you know, video honorable mentions. So, controlling anger. So who was angry in there?
The main character, I forgot his name. Y'all forgive me. I'm sorry. But like the main character, the guy, the main guy who was all about basically who won in the end. He had this controlling anger. At the end of the movie, he TV show. At the end of the TV show, he basically he was getting ready to go and go see his daughter, and I was just like, oh yes, he's gonna go see his daughter. Mm-hmm. You know, it was sad that his mom died, but at least he was gonna get a chance to go see his daughter. And I was just like, oh, okay, great, this is great, he's gonna be a really good father to her, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden he sees the same guy who was playing the game with him. I don't know what that particular game is called.
Yeah, where you throwing down the envelope, red and blue envelope, and flips over. He saw him, and that guy was like, "My man, you won. I knew you would." And
he had a weird smile.
Yeah, he was like, you know, I don't know, but that's a guy from the Train to Busan movie. Yeah, yeah, how he died, and like, how do you?
That was a good movie too. Yeah, don't get me that was an actual movie though.
That was an action movie, but it's like, so he saw him, and that just triggered, you know, his emotions, and then I think he got on the phone. Oh no, he went to the guy who was playing and took his card so he could get the phone number, and he basically said, "Hey, I would like to play the game," and then he heard the guy's voice, and he basically was trying to check him on the phone, and like, "I'm gonna find you, I'm gonna get you," you know, all that stuff.
Mind you, he had just got off the phone with his daughter and said, "I'm on my way."
Yeah,
and he was about to get on the plane. They were even telling him on the bad guys, I guess, they were even telling him to go on the plane and live your life.
Yeah,
and he was like, "No, I'm angry. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna come for you," type stuff. He was gonna go back into the same situation again. So I don't know what's gonna happen second season, but that controlling anger, like, for lack of a better phrase, because I don't think I know one, he's trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho, and I'm like, we don't need that. And I'm very sorry. I don't know what other things to say, but it's just like you were out. You know, everybody had an opportunity to go in. Everybody had a choice to play this game or not to play the game. Yeah. So nobody made two in his case, in his scenario, yes, 2. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, no one made you do this. No one sat there and said, you're forced to do this. You went home, you said, oh, my life still sucks, I'm going back in. So you're not really like in a situation of being a victim to me. And it's just like you just kind of made yourself into you turn yourself into a victim. Yeah. And decided you want to go back into the game and help all these other victims. And I'm like, but boy, you're rich, bro. Yeah, like you have won. You know, I understand that it's just like, I don't know. I feel like he won and he just still became empty.
Yeah, because it's like, what for me, I would have took that money. First, you're on the phone with your daughter. Go see your daughter, spend time with her. Then if you want to go be a Superman,
exactly,
then go do that. Yeah. Or there's other ways, but I know it's for the sake of the plot, but let's just say this, if this was real life, you know, start up a foundation that helps people who are, you know, who got into some really, really bad debt, because you know what's out there. Hey, look, you know, this, you know, don't do this, come to me, you know, we can work on a payment plan, I'll help you get out of debt, you know, so you don't have to end up in the game. Because now you just abandon. I mean, the main reason why you did these games is because, for one, you need to get your daughter back, and 2, you need to help your mom out. You know, so now you go see your mom is dead because you're in the games, right? I think she died while he was in the games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he missed out on all that stuff, but he did some good things where he took care of Sang-woo's mom by giving her a briefcase full of money, and the girl who died that Sang-woo actually killed, the brother.
Yeah.
She said, "Hey, can you take care of him?" And they're set for life, and he's set for life.
Yeah.
You know, so you could have just like I said, they gave you it's two chances for you to leave. Well, one chance, you join and you leave and you go back. So now you're in there because of your own self.
Yeah.
And that anger caused.
But he was in there from the jump for his own self.
Yeah, but now the anger that you just couldn't let that go. Now you're not going to see your daughter. Like we don't know what's going to happen because
you might die, but maybe because he's the main character, he'll live.
Yeah.
But you might die.
He'll live. I mean, hopefully, like you just put that money in like a secure fund. So, like, if you do die and when your daughter turns 18, she can at least get that money that you worked so hard for. Because now, if you die, like the money is just useless. I mean, but the girl would rather have you in her life. But
Yeah, and the Bible talks about being quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger.
Yeah.
And he really was not slow to anger.
And the fact that they even knew who he was.
Yeah.
They're like, bro, you won. Like, don't do this. Think about it. Just leave it alone. Like, so I'm like, they waiting for you, bro. They know. And, yeah. Yeah.
It's one of those old sayings that old people like to sit there and say, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Mm-hmm. Well, he's biting.
Yeah. Well, he's chomping at it. He's coming at them. But it's a great show, guys. Like I said in the podcast, I say it over here, like, just watch out because, kids are... Well, this show is just so popular. It's infiltrating into kids' video games like Roblox. If you don't know what Roblox is, actually, kids, they probably play it without you knowing.
Or their friends do.
Their friends do, and they're doing these recreations of Squid Games. So your kid may not actually know what Squid Game is or seen the show, but they get the gist of it because they're, doing the red light, green light, which is where, if you don't know, you play red light, green light. If you move, when it says red light, the little doll will analyze all the people, and whoever they calculate moves get shot and then they die. There's the cookie game, which I don't know what it's called, but basically they're cookies with different shapes. You gotta break them out, and if you break the shape, you die.
Yeah.
Every game is you die if you don't win or whatever. So imagine your 8-year-old kids playing these games.
Tug of war,
you die. What else? The little walking on the glass thing, you die. Imagine your 8-year-old kid playing this, and you don't know. And now they get introduced to Squid Games. Mm-hmm. And they probably have Netflix. Everybody has Netflix, so they go on your account. Oh, cool, Squid Games. They watch it, and that's how they get introduced. So just be careful, because it's definitely not for kids. I mean, it really isn't even for high schoolers, really. But kids are watching whatever now.
You can't control a high schooler though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, you can.
I don't know. You can, but
you can, but But yeah, so just be careful, just be mindful. But basically, we just wanted just to do this because we know that people are talking about Squid Games, and we watch it, and we like this. We like the show. It's not a movie. We liked it, but there's things that made us think about, topics like love and money. And the Bible has a lot to say about that. Greed, anger, lust. There's a lot of stuff in there. So as Christians, we can learn from any situation. We can learn from good relationships. We can learn from bad relationships. So right here is a movie that's highlighting the bad stuff, so we can sit there and talk about it. But we're going to do more things like this. So we have a whole list of movies and shows we're going to watch where we could bring some Christian perspective to these movies. But that's it. I don't know what else to say.
Well, thank you for sitting here listening to us in our ramble
session. Yeah, in our ramble. And the rain is going crazy, but hopefully it sounds good. But, we'll be doing this again. Just check out our podcast. And check out our store. I put all the links in the description down below. Let us know what other stuff that we should watch. We're into Korean movies. We're into Japanese movies. We're into African movies. Anime. So let us know. Let us know something that, that I'm new to watch. And we'll watch it and we'll discuss it on the show.
Yes. All right. And pray that we don't wash away in this rain.
Yes.
See you guys next time.
All right. Peace.